Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling. Here today to discuss about AEW Rampage April 8th, 2022 review. This was a very solid, entertaining show. No, folks, I did not watch SmackDown, and just an update, I will be providing you guys a Impact Wrestling review from this past Thursday, either Saturday or Sunday, one of those 2 days, and go over it with you guys in full detail. Just to state this one thing, I will say this. Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta was the closer of this show. Bryan and Trent Beretta were the opener of this show. And I gotta say, the match that we saw with Wheeler Yuta and Jon Moxley was unbelievable. Great matchup, good action, very entertaining stuff. I enjoyed this very much. Probably one of the best Rampage main event matches I have seen in a while. A lot of their other main event matches for Rampage have been pretty decent. They're, a little above par and whatnot. But this, folks, I just told my friend Matt 87 Eagle. I just told him this match could have been my opener to Double or Nothing. I would have been more than happy to pay for $49.99 with this being the opener of my pay-per-view. This was really a superb match. Wheeler Yuta might have lost the match, but he was a fucking winner. This was pure genius by Tony Khan. I almost said Tony Schiavone. Tony Khan. Tony Khan did an excellent job booking this match, and what Wheeler Yuta and Jon Moxley did together to produce this match, and what they did together was unbelievable. It reminded me a lot like a Bret Hart Stone Cold type of moment, and Wheeler Yuta just refused to die. He refused to go down and stay down. The only thing that really, based on the situation that took place, is the amount of blood Wheeler Yuta lost during this match that makes you think that Wheeler Yuta lost at the end of the day, because he was in a rear naked choke. And he had a lot of blood coming out of him. And eventually he just got tired out and got weak. Same way Stone Cold Steve Austin lost against Bret the Hitman Hart in that sharpshooter. Now, don't get me wrong, that image of Bret Hart putting Stone Cold Steve Austin in the sharpshooter and the blood just gushing down his face and through his tooth, covering his tooth completely, was an amazing image. Now, this was nowhere near that, but as action goes, heart that was placed into this match through Wheeler Yuta and his will to want to win was unbelievable. Congratulations to Wheeler Yuta for having a moment in his career, probably the biggest moment he's had so far, because Wheeler Yuta has not been exactly what you could say is standing out all that much until the last week or so. Since he's gotten involved with William Regal, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley. Not to mention his performance at the against Josh Woods for the Pure Wrestling Championship at Ring of Honor's Supercard was another thing that stood out and has helped him, I believe, in his attempt to attract attention from a lot of people. And that whole crowd were right behind Wheeler Yuta from beginning to end. So, excellent job by Tony Khan. Great work by Wheeler Yuta. Jon Moxley sold the shit out of this match too, especially his reaction after the match was over. He could not believe that Wheeler Yuta went through all of this just to possibly get a win over a big name like Jon Moxley. And he was really impressed with him, and he just couldn't believe the kid wouldn't just go down. He did everything he could. He hit him with 2 fucking paradigm shifts. The second one more devastating than the first, and yet he couldn't put him away. He had to literally strangle him to death just to put him out. And nothing worked. He didn't even get him to tap out even. So with all that withstanding, Wheeler Yuta had a great performance here tonight. Very exciting. I enjoyed the match. If you even wanted to go back to watch Rampage and you never watched Rampage at all tonight, this is a match you would go back and you would watch. Bryan Danielson also fought Trent Beretta. This was a good, solid, entertaining opener. This match was the second best match on the card. Trent Beretta is an excellent performer. William Regal was even complimenting him in commentary. Why he's with the best friends, he has no idea. He thinks they're a bunch of goofballs, technically, is what he was saying during commentary. But he finds Trent Beretta to be an amazing talent and somebody he wouldn't mind having part of their group. Unfortunately, he is good friends with Chuck Taylor in real life and Orange Cassidy. So I don't think they're going to separate these 3 men. I think they are a good fitting for one another. I don't think they need Wheeler Yuta. I don't think they'll lose any traction with their little pack that they got, their trios that they got over there. And once Orange Cassidy gets out of that brace or that thingy, the thing that's holding his arm up because of the injury he suffered a couple of weeks back or a month or so, they'll be right back on track. Especially Orange Cassidy. I would love to see Orange Cassidy face Bryan Danielson. If you guys know at all if Bryan Danielson and Orange Cassidy fought each other one-on-one in a match, let me know, because I don't remember if that even took place yet. Personally, I think that would be a great match to have take place on Double or Nothing if Orange Cassidy is healthy enough to wrestle at that point. So if that's the case, I'd love to see it. But otherwise, good matchup between Bryan Danielson and Trent Beretta. Bryan Danielson wins with a modified Bella Lock submission hold. And he wins the match that way. So that was pretty good. Wallow Nightmare versus Red Velvet was the other match that took place on this card, which I wasn't too fond of all that much. Red Velvet won that match. Not surprising. We also got to see Sammy Guevara in the middle of a storyline with Dan Lambert, Ethan Page, and Scorpio Sky. The match between Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara continues to be offered and requesting for this match to take place. I believe they're also looking for a mixed tag team match. I think with Scorpio Sky and Paige Van Zant, I believe is how you pronounce her name. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have any problems with that. I think that is going to be a Double or Nothing pay-per-view match on the main card. So keep an eye out for that build going into the May 30th pay-per-view. And one other thing happened on this show, which is Swerve Strickland versus QT Marshall. QT Marshall lost this match to Swerve Strickland, and that was pretty much it on that. Nothing spectacular happened there. It was pretty average Joe match overall. I'm not too high on QT Marshall at all. I don't think much about him as a professional wrestler. Personally, I'm not I don't really get excited when I see him wrestle. To be quite frank with you, I don't even see he's a valuable asset to AEW. He might be behind the scenes, which he does training for professional wrestlers. Uh, and if he's training a lot of these performers, then he's doing a great job with that, and that's something he would be useful for. But on screen personality, I'm not too fond of him all that much, unfortunately. But if he's valuable in other ways, such as behind the scene type stuff, I would be fine with him staying with AEW in that capacity. But as an on screen character, I don't particularly care for him that much because he doesn't bring a whole lot to the table as charisma goes and just excitement goes, personally. So I'm not a big fan of his all that much, unfortunately. I'm not trying to hate on the guy or anything. It's just he doesn't bring any excitement out of me when I watch him. That's just how I feel. But yeah, the women's match between Red Velvet and Wallow Nightmare was actually a tournament. The ornament. Sorry, I'm really exhausted. I've been doing a lot of running around today on my day off. It was actually the Owen Hart tournament, which has been going on for both men and the women. And this match was okay. Nothing special about it. Red Velvet, of course, won this match. And that was pretty much it. Overall, though, the opener and the closing match of the show were the best parts of it. Isaiah Swerve Scott, sorry, I keep saying Isaiah Swerve Scott. I have no idea why I keep doing that. I know that that's his WWE name. I got to get used to calling him Swerve Strickland. But yeah, Swerve Strickland did really well in this match, did his part in the match, and he did a pretty good job. I think he's a guy that I would love to see face Scorpio Sky for the TNT Championship at some point down the line. I think that would be a very fun match to watch. I don't even care if Scorpio Sky was to retain the title against Swerve Strickland. And Swerve Strickland losing the match, of course. I wouldn't even have a problem with that. Just to see these two go at it and Swerve Strickland being in the middle of a actual championship opportunity would be entertaining in itself, and what these two guys could produce together, I think they would do a great job together. If you want to swap the title back to Sammy Guevara even at some point just to have these two go at it, I'd be all for that too. Shit. Hell, if you want to do a triple threat match, I'd be fine with that. I mean, the choices are endless. But yeah, I'm very happy the way AEW has been. I'm very happy the way AEW just has been able to be very successful without the help of Cody Rhodes. Speaking of that, Tony Khan actually mentioned in a interview with a radio podcaster about that. He was asking him how he feels with Cody now being officially part of the WWE and performing at WrestleMania. And he said, personally, we don't have any ill feelings. We just couldn't come to an agreement. At the end of the day, he showed me respect. I appreciate that. And it's a possibility we may end up working again. It just so happens that we couldn't agree on the contract that he wanted. And we parted ways. That's all it was. We weren't doing anything personally. It was all business sense. I think he even stated, based on what I read, I think he mentions that him and Cody are in still contact with each other. They're still communicating, but they're just not doing any business with each other at this point in time. Could this be a possibility of something bigger that we can't see that's never been done before? That's a possibility. I mean, Cody has mentioned that you're going to see something you've never seen before as him being this, playing out this character, and there's a possibility that that's what he's trying to do without Vince McMahon even knowing about it. I'm not quite sure. Or it was just something that was mentioned but is never going to be met based on the promo that he cut on TV. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe before we know it, before Cody leaves WWE, he's going to play heel, embrace the heel role, and then leave WWE after his contract's up and join back with AEW as a heel. I'm not quite sure. Or it's all just a big ruse the whole entire time with that promo, and everybody thought it meant something and means absolutely nothing. But I wouldn't have a problem with it. I hope that's what they have that in the cards or something. But personally, at this point in time, it's no big deal. I think Cody Rhodes' promo from Raw this past Monday was good. He's always good on the microphone. It's just certain things that he does that kind of makes me feel like he's a hypocrite or a phony. I enjoy his wrestling. I mean, give me a break. That match with him and Seth Rollins was excellent. But as a person, I kind of concern myself with who he is as a real person. I don't know where his loyalty lies. I don't know if he really had any real beef, but apparently he does. And apparently that has been washed away. I guess he came amends with WWE. They apologized to him for what they did with him before he left. And I guess they saw something that they didn't see something they had. So they apologized and admitted that, yeah, you were definitely right. We should have done some changes with you. Who knows? I hope that was the case. I hope WWE saw where they messed up and what they did was wrong and apologized to him to get him back with the company and do right by him. But personally, he didn't get where he was on account of WWE, which is actually kind of the cool part about Cody Rhodes. But the bad part is all the bullshit he said on television AEW, and then going right back to the company that kind of fucked his career for a little bit till he got out on his own and he had to, bet on himself. So when they could have just made him a multi-world champion right out of the gate, I mean, he would have been a major star along with Roman Reigns. So, but hey, it is what it is. Things happen the way they did, and that's pretty much it, man. So, good luck to Cody. Tony Khan is definitely succeeding with what he has. And he's got an amazing talent roster. And I hope he continues to benefit with what he has, because he's been delivering a lot of good stuff, especially with Wheeler Yuta and Jon Moxley. And I hope it continues. Because I love AEW. They're the only real reason why I continue to follow pro wrestling. I will give you guys an update on how I thought of Roman Reigns from Friday night. I'm going to just catch that segment, see how things went with him. I'm not going to look into the results of that because I don't want to spoil it for myself, but I'll definitely check it out right after I upload this video for you guys and give you my thoughts on it sometime this weekend besides the Impact Wrestling review as well. Anyway, at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.